Kevin, 28 years old, stared intently at the computer screen. Not the familiar lines of code, but a bank statement. The number on it froze him. His savings account, the result of 6 years of hard work and a frugal lifestyle, held a mere 3 digits. Almost 1 billion Vietnamese dong had vanished overnight. Kevin's heart pounded. As a software engineer, he was always cautious with online security matters. He used strong passwords, two-factor authentication, and always kept his antivirus software updated. The idea of his bank account being compromised seemed impossible. But the number staring back at him told a starkly different truth. His fingers trembled as he scrolled through the transaction history. A series of small transfers to various accounts, followed by large cash withdrawals from ATMs in numerous unfamiliar locations. They had all occurred between midnight and dawn. A meticulously planned attack. Kevin immediately called the bank. The cumbersome identity verification process made him impatient. When he finally spoke to a support agent, his voice still trembled. He reported the account compromise. The bank employee checked, confirmed the unusual transactions, and said they would temporarily freeze the account for internal investigation. They couldn't provide further details over the phone. Helplessness and outrage surged within Kevin. Who had done this? And why? He reviewed all his recent online activities, trying to find any unusual signs. Nothing. His computer was clean, his phone secure. Then a chilling thought crossed his mind. Emily, his ex-girlfriend. They had broken up 2 months ago after a 3-year relationship. The breakup hadn't been amicable. Emily was angry, saying bitter words. But could she do this? She had no technical knowledge, let alone any understanding of hacking. However, Emily knew a lot about Kevin's savings account. She knew he was saving up to buy an apartment. She also knew some of his personal information that could be useful for resetting passwords or bypassing basic security layers. But Emily alone wouldn't be enough. Someone must have helped her. Someone with IT skills, a hacker. Kevin sat silently in his apartment. Streetlights shone through the window, casting long streaks on the wooden floor. Loneliness and betrayal washed over him. Emily, the person he had once trusted and loved deeply. Could she have done this? As a software engineer, Kevin had some knowledge of the internet's underbelly. He knew about hacker forums, about different types of cyber attacks. He also knew that not everyone in that world was a bad actor. There were white hat hackers who used their skills to combat cybersecurity threats, helping victims of attacks. He remembered a name. Alex, a well-known white hat hacker in an online community Kevin used to participate in. Alex was a legend, known for his ability to trace complex digital footprints and find attackers. Kevin had never spoken directly to Alex, only knew his reputation through recounted stories. Would Alex help him? Kevin hesitated. He didn't know how to contact Alex, and whether Alex would agree to help a stranger with such a personal matter. But he had no other choice. The police might get involved, but cybercrime cases were often difficult to investigate and took a long time. Kevin needed to act faster. He spent the whole night searching for information about Alex. He scoured old forums, looking for an email address or any contact information. Finally, he found an encrypted email address on a security forum that had been inactive for a long time. Uncertain if it was Alex's real email, Kevin still sent a message. He briefly described his situation, the amount of money lost, and his suspicion about his ex-girlfriend. He attached the bank statement and any information that might be useful. He didn't expect much of a response. But the next morning, a reply email appeared in Kevin's inbox. The sender was just a short line. Meet me at 10 a.m. at the Bite and Bean coffee shop downtown. Kevin felt both excited and anxious. He didn't know who this person was, whether it was really Alex. But he decided to go. At the coffee shop, a young man, in his late 20s, with neatly trimmed hair and sharp eyes, was sitting in a secluded corner. He didn't look like Kevin's image of a legendary white hat hacker. Kevin, the man asked as Kevin approached. Yes, and you are? Just call me A, he said. I received your email. They sat down. Kevin recounted the whole story, providing more details about his relationship with Emily and the reasons for his suspicion. I listened attentively, occasionally asking short, Direct questions. He showed no surprise or pity, focusing solely on the technical aspects of the attack. Are you absolutely sure your computer and phone are clean? A asked. Absolutely, Kevin replied. I've checked thoroughly. No viruses, no spyware. Then there's a high probability your login information was stolen through a non-technical method, is said. Social engineering. Or simply, she knew your password. Or she accessed your devices when you weren't paying attention. Kevin thought. Emily knew his old password, but he had changed it after the breakup. However, she knew the security questions, and she had come to his apartment a few times after the breakup to pick up her belongings. Could she have secretly accessed his computer or phone then? Did you have two-factor authentication enabled? I continued. Yes, Kevin replied, but I use SMS messages. Is there a way to intercept or redirect those messages? I nodded. Yes. SIM swapping is a fairly common technique. The attacker convinces the mobile carrier to transfer the victim's phone number to a new SIM card they control. That way, they can receive the two-factor authentication codes. A cold shiver ran down Kevin's spine. That was entirely possible. Do you have copies of the transaction records? A asked. Yes. I printed everything out. Good. Send them to me. I'll start tracing those funds. Cryptocurrency wallet addresses, bank accounts, anything that can lead to the real identities of the recipients. Kevin felt a small glimmer of hope. With A's help, he had a chance to recover his money and bring the perpetrators to light. Why are you helping me? Kevin asked, curiosity outweighing his anxiety. I shrugged. I don't like people who abuse technology to harm others, especially those who exploit trust. And your story has a few details that interest me. I didn't elaborate, but Kevin understood that he had his own reasons. He felt grateful. Over the next few days, Kevin and A worked together via email and encrypted video calls. A was a true expert in his field. He explained to Kevin the techniques the attackers might have used, how the money was transferred through layers of intermediaries to conceal its origin. I traced the funds through a complex network of foreign bank accounts, cryptocurrency exchanges, and shell companies. This work required patience, analytical skills, and a deep understanding of the global financial and internet infrastructure. During the digital investigation, I discovered a suspicious IP address associated with one of the money transfer transactions. This IP address belonged to a virtual server in an Eastern European country. Tracing it directly from there would be almost impossible for an ordinary person. However, it was a white hat hacker. He had backdoors in the digital world, special methods to gather information without breaking the law, at least according to A's perspective. While A focused on the digital aspect, Kevin tried to gather evidence of Emily's involvement. He searched for information about Emily on social media, checking her recent activities. He discovered that Emily had recently befriended a mysterious-looking man who claimed to be a financial consultant, but had a very vague background. This individual frequently posted pictures of a lavish lifestyle and get-rich-quick advice. Kevin suspected this was the hacker Emily had colluded with. He reached out to a mutual friend of his and Emily's, someone he trusted. He carefully recounted his story, expressing his concerns and suspicions. This friend, after hearing the story, was shocked and agreed to secretly monitor Emily. Through this friend, Kevin learned that Emily had become very close with the financial consultant recently. They frequently met at luxurious locations, and Emily was spending money very lavishly. This further solidified Kevin's suspicions. After nearly 2 weeks of relentless work, I sent Kevin a detailed report. I've managed to trace some important leads, A wrote in the email. Your money was transferred through a series of intermediary accounts, eventually ending up in a large cryptocurrency wallet. From that wallet, a portion of the funds was converted into cash through over-the-counter, OTC, exchanges in various countries. But more importantly, A continued, I found evidence linking that cryptocurrency wallet to some online activities of the financial consultant you mentioned. He appears to be a professional hacker involved in financial fraud. It also provided Kevin with logs of the hacker's online activities, including cryptocurrency transactions. IP addresses, masked by VPNs or proxies, but it had ways to see through that disguise, and encrypted conversations, decrypted by A, related to the attack on Kevin's bank account. This is forensic evidence, A said in a video call. It directly links that hacker to your theft. And if you can prove the connection between Emily and him, you'll have a strong case. With A's report and the information gathered about Emily, Kevin decided to bring the matter to light. He sought out a lawyer specializing in cybercrime. The lawyer reviewed the evidence Kevin brought, initially appearing skeptical, but upon examining A's report, he became extremely impressed. "This report, it's incredible," the lawyer said. "Who is this person? His ability to trace these things goes beyond what even the FBI experts can do." Kevin simply smiled. He didn't reveal A's real identity. The lawsuit was filed. Kevin sued Emily and the financial consultant for fraud, theft of property, and unauthorized access to computer systems. The digital evidence from A was the core of the case. It provided a clear picture of how the hack was executed and who was behind it. Emily and the hacker tried every means to deny their involvement. They hired good lawyers, attempting to discredit the digital evidence provided by A. They claimed the report was fabricated, that Kevin had hired a hacker to frame them. But he had anticipated this. He was prepared to prove the authenticity of his report and his methods in court. He even offered to testify anonymously or through a recorded deposition, if necessary. The legal battle was intense. Kevin faced suspicion and judgment from some people, including mutual friends with Emily. They couldn't believe that Emily, the seemingly sweet and innocent girl, could be involved in such a large-scale fraud. Kevin felt lonely, but he knew he was doing the right thing. Ultimately, with A's unwavering support and the lawyer's skill, the digital evidence was accepted by the court. The logic and detail in A's report, along with other supporting evidence, such as the communication history between Emily and the hacker. Emily's suspicious financial transactions after the hack convinced the jury. The verdict was delivered. Emily and the hacker were found guilty. They faced prison sentences and were ordered to pay restitution to Kevin. The process of recovering the assets was still difficult. Some of the money had been moved overseas and was hard to retrieve. But Kevin had his bank account back, although the balance was no longer the same. More important than the money, Kevin had regained justice. He had exposed those who had betrayed his trust and used their technological skills to harm others. After the trial, Kevin sent an email thanking A. "I owe you so much," Kevin wrote. "I couldn't have done this without you." A replied with just a few lines. "I only did what I thought was right." The digital world needs people on the side of justice. Good luck with your life, Kevin. Kevin sat in his apartment, looking out the window. The battle was over. He had been hurt, both materially and emotionally. His faith in people had been shaken, but he had also learned a lot. He learned that the world isn't just black and white. There are complex shades of gray. He learned that kindness and help can come from unexpected places. And he learned that, despite setbacks and betrayals, he still had the strength to stand up and fight for the truth. The lost money might never be fully recovered, but Kevin had regained peace of mind and a valuable lesson about trust, caution, and the importance of protecting oneself in a digital world full of pitfalls. The digital footprints in the sand might be blown away by the wind, but the lessons of trust and betrayal would remain etched in his mind forever.